So the lights are going out now, and let's see how this race will go out. Lights off.
Looks like the Ferraris got off to a good start. Into T1, Charles Leclerc holding. Vettel on the inside. Sebastian Vettel leading the race. Oh! Max. Was that Max?
Yeah, it looked. Yeah, Max Verstappen.
Already cutting up through the field.
Yeah, he's in 13th position, so he made a lot of positions from that start. Looks like the Mercedes are next to each other for that corner.
Max goes in the inside there against Kevin Magnussen, gets the move done. Wow, Max going on the inside of Roman Grosjean, and that's disappeared into the distance. And Max going for a move on Hulkenberg, doesn't quite get enough on the straight there, but I think once DRS goes, oh, he'll probably get it done. Let's see.
Does he have damage on the front wing?
Let's see.
But at the same time, he gets the fastest lap of the race so far. And now DRS is enabled.
Valtteri going on the inside here into turn 1. Mounts the curb, the exit. Albon's gonna have the advantage. Carlos Sainz has DRS on Sergio Perez.
In the back, we can see the two horses are fighting for position. That could be tricky. I'm not sure if that's something you would want. At the same time, Verstappen is moving up in the field. Just overtook Carlos Sainz. Now he's in 7th position. Perez defends the inside, but not for long.
Max Verstappen goes on a straight dive bomb on the inside of Perez. I would not be surprised if the stewards look at that. That was very aggressive, and it looked like they hit wheels pretty good. Perez doesn't seem to have any type of damage on his front wing. I don't know, he might have some floor damage perhaps, but wow, that was very aggressive. And Max, lap number 3, almost in the books, and he's up into 6th. And Leclerc's not going to have DRS on the straight. And let's see if anyone makes a move here.
Bottas has the DRS on Albon. Can he get close enough?
Max coming in the pits.
Oh, so that's a close first corner. Bottas on the outside, which will be the inside for the next corner, and he gets the move done. At the same time, yes, Verstappen had damage on the front at the front wing because they are actually changing it. I didn't really catch.
Do they slap on the hard tires and hope they go the distance, or they go back on the mediums? Let's see. Verstappen on the hard tires, all right. So playing the long game. Stayed in 5th as long as he has. I mean, you'd figure he'd be cutting up, but I mean, honestly, I'll give it to Bottas. He looks very racy here this weekend.
Speaking of which, he goes for another attempt, going to the inside.
Wheel to wheel.
Not really. But at the same time, this opens the door for Albon behind him.
Yes, it does. Valtteri defends on the inside there. T1 is so tricky because if you touch that curb too much, going on the inside, trying to get the move done that way, it really does slow you down so much through that exit. And the exit of that turn is so important. Because you have that slow left-hander, and then you go back on the throttle, and the person who has the better exit is the one who's probably going to keep the position.
Oh, at the same time, speaking of which, Lewis goes to the inside. Can he get that position? Side by side with Albon. I think
Alex is going to have it.
Very good move from Albon.
That is true, and I think maybe a little bit of that is also because of Albon defending. Oh, and Hamilton has a very good exit there, slipstream. Looks like he's gonna get the
Goes
move done.
for it, but at the same time, there's also a battle ahead. Bottas goes for the inside.
Ooh, and
finds the
Valtteri
curb.
hits that curb too much.
And no.
Charles protects.
No, at the same time, we have people in the pits. Let's hope.
It looks like Nico Hulkenberg's going for the undercut on the medium tires.
At the same time, the two Mercedeses are going at each other at this point.
Almost go full retro Red Bull. Vettel just disappear into the distance. Oh my gosh! Max goes late on the brakes on the hard tires into the Williams, and that's going to be more front wing damage.
Just when he catches up to the pack, he already gets damage. Not a good sign.
Max is, it looks like Vettel's going in for the pit. Let's see who follows. Lewis Hamilton is going to get the undercut.
Also Albon as well, if I saw it correctly.
Albon, yeah, it's not surprising. But that also means that probably Max is going to have to stay out there.
We also have
wing.
Carlos Sainz in the pits as well.
Carlos going for the undercut on, I believe he was battling with Sergio Perez, so we'll see how like.
Oh, that's not gonna be a good exit on the pits. Oh, this will be cluttered.
Oh gosh, and was there contact right there between the Red Bulls? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell really either, but
Either way, I don't think it matters too much because Max already has front wing damage, but you still don't want to hit your teammate. A huge lockup from Lewis.
The two Toroses are next to each other.
Lewis on the set of soft tires, so we'll see how that plays out for him.
Max Verstappen looks around the Alpha. He gets pushed out. The next corner, let's see what happens. Another dive bump, but this time it was much cleaner.
Yeah, that was Max. I hope that he keeps calm and cool about things. I know the race hasn't gone his way, but the more he drives with emotion, the worse I think his chances could get. And he gets the move done on the Toro Rosso.
And idiot. Alright, let's let him get what happened in the previous corner. Was it Giovinazzi?
Yes.
Ooh, that was close. Out of nowhere, really. Alright, people are
Kevin
going...
Magnussen going in the pits.
And also Leclerc is in the pits, Bottas in the pits. And that's, again, not a good exit from the pits. Another cluttered exit.
And that's really going to clutter the field, and that's going to make a huge impact later on in the race, depending on what strategy everybody's on. But losing those small tints right there in that first, outlap with, mixing with the likes of the Renaults and whatnot, that's definitely going to play a part later on in the race, I think. Daniel Ricciardo opened to 5th on the medium tire, so I would imagine he's probably going to go on the hard compound at some point. Lewis Hamilton right behind the Aussie, and followed by Lando Norris, who's on the hard tire. Verstappen on the hard tires. Max! He did it again, the same corner.
Another contact. And even more damage to the front wing.
He keeps racing like this. I think the stewards, gonna book him for a penalty, and he keeps on doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gonna take some penalty points on his super license for his performance so far. I mean, how many contacts has he made? 3 times?
Oh,
okay.
Let's make it 4. As he bangs doors with Lando.
Wow. Just totally tried to muscle and bully Lando off the tarmac right there, but Lando's gonna have DRS on him, but not that it really matters. Man, that's frustrating right there for Lando, I'm sure. Max, you can definitely tell he's driving with emotion. This has not been the most clinical Max we've seen in the past, when Max on his day, when he's driving with confidence and stuff, but you can definitely tell that he's probably a little bit disappointed. Probably driving a little bit more with not necessarily anger, I guess, but frustration, because he's gonna have a lot of understeer through the turns and stuff with the front wing damage he's had. Goes on the inside here against Daniel.
Just like you mentioned it, he goes for muscle overtakes, and he get.
Yeah, it's. Well, I mean, he's gonna have to. Look at that. Look how much understeer he had right there on the track. I mean, he's not gonna be able to put that Red Bull right where he wants to. You know, it's not gonna be able to steer, point the nose where you want to go and go for it. But he's gonna have DRS, so he's gonna have straight line speed. That's good. But go for the switchback with Valtteri, who defends on the inside here. Wow.
Goes to the outside.
Okay. Oh, 3 wide almost into that S turn. And that's surprising because Bottas is on the soft tires.
He forced Bottas off the track, if I saw it correctly.
Yes, I definitely think that he's definitely getting his elbows out and being way more aggressive, trying to make up the place.
But also he brakes way too early. So Bottas could get the position back, but not like that.
Max, what is going on? That car must be so understeery. That's the only thing I could think of at this point. You know, he's not having a lot of downforce because of that front wing damage.
But it's almost a miracle work if he can still race like that with a car like that.
I would imagine that he is wrestling that steering wheel around with how much understeer he's gonna have.
He goes for an overtake. Well, he gets it down.
Wow, and that's huge for Max because through these S turns right here, it's really hard to overtake. So Valtteri's gonna be losing a little bit of time to Max, stuck behind Gasly here in the Toro Rosso. Max goes really wide. I think that's just understeer, but that's huge because Valtteri won't have DRS on him through the straight. Max, you can tell Max is having so much understeer. He's running wide in the last 2 turns there.
Let's see. Bottas goes for an overtake on Gasly. Gets it down, I guess. Oh yes, nicely done. Bit close, but
yes.
Job done.
Gasly's gonna have DRS possibly on the straight, but notice Bottas doesn't have DRS anymore.
Hamilton goes for a rooster battle with Vettel. Can he get
Lewis
it
Hamilton.
down?
Let's see how this plays out through the straight as Hamilton gets a better exit, but Sebastian Vettel's gonna have DRS.
Yeah, he has it done.
Yeah, that's gonna be easy pass for him.
If he can get it down. Oh, Hamilton locks up.
Hamilton locks up, but he has a better exit on the outside right there. And he's going to live to fight another day. Once again, DRS for Vettel.
But he cannot get close enough for Hamilton. At the same time...
Max! Again!
Oh, whoa, what's going on here, guys? 4 cars, too wide for the first corner. Aye.
Oh, that was close there.
If you cannot really do much, you could support him, I feel.
Yeah, and that's I mean, even to the point of allowing someone to kind of piggyback off you with DRS and help them that way if someone's kind of pressuring them for position. But yeah, I think they definitely have taken a lot of tense off each other through, fighting through the first few laps. And Valtteri Bottas goes on the right-hand side there, and Max up into P3, but...
If you can get it done, but he could not. Meanwhile, Bottas was able to take the position. Bottas is in 4th position now, Verstappen is still in 3rd.
It's been I've noticed it a few times now. I think the best way to overtake into T1 is not to go on the inside, because normally the person who has the better exit and plus you have track position going into the next turn so I think if anyone wants to get an overtake, they're gonna have to go in the outside there and try and get it that way. It might be the slower way, but I think it's gonna be the best for you to protect that lead.
Meanwhile, Verstappen is looking for the position. Oh! He cannot
Max.
You know what? He tried it 2 times in the inside. He was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna try it on the outside. It did not work. So maybe I'm not sure. Maybe it was in the 4th or 5th lap, but it was ridiculously early. And speaking of which, he's in the pits now.
You gonna swap that front wing? Yes, they are. They're gonna put on the mediums. All right.
He goes very early into the pits again for the second pit. So this could be a good method as well. At the same time, let's look at what happened in the previous laps between Lando Norris and the other one.
That is Daniel Ricciardo right there in the Renault, and that's good racing. Wheel to wheel, kept it clean. Lando kind of squeezed him out to the outside of the track right there. It's good racing from Lando with the McLaren. Daniel goes on the inside, right in the gearbox.
But then at the same time, for the next lap, Ricciardo tries to get the position back from Lando.
Oh! And a big lockup from the Australian, and he slides into the side. All right, lap number 16. It looks like Leclerc has a decent lead, but all the top 5 have to pit again. I don't think there's anybody who can make a one-stop here on 2 sets of softs. Obviously, in regulations state you have to use 2 tire compounds in the race, so top 4 is going to have to pit again. And let's see,
Vettel is in
Roman
the pits.
Grosjean, Vettel as well,
Norris as
Lando
well.
Norris, and Max, who's on the medium tires in P10. We'll see how he finishes. He's going to have DRS. Gets the move done on Kevin Magnussen. So they go into the turn. Max, I thought he was going to hit again. Oh. And he's just cutting up through the field.
He's on fire.
All right. Oh. Oof. That is a very ambitious look right there from Max into that turn, but he's going on the inside here on the straights. 3 wide possibly. Holt goes on the outside. Huge luck up from Carlos. And that's really close right there. All right, we got a drag race here between the Renault,
the McLaren, and the Verstappen, who gets the fastest lap of the race again. Let's see. Renault backs out, but at the same time,
telling you, if you want to get that move done, they're gonna have to go to the outside, I think.
Don't screw this up, Max. Just take it nicely. So far he has strategy of leaving Mercedes on the outside. And just barely, but he gets the job done. So that's P4 for Verstappen. And just cuts through the field again with Perez. He makes it look easy. He makes it look very easy.
But Hamilton's struggling, it looks like.
Another clutter from the pits. Better faking the inside to an outside. Let's see if he can get the position.
Wheel to wheel.
He goes to the outside, to the inside, and pushes it down a bit and gets it done.
He's gonna have DRS on the straight.
He had the option. Oh, that's someone going up in smoke.
Uh-oh, that looks like an engine problem. And it looks like he has is that Grosjean? Kevin Magnussen out of the session with some type of mechanical failure.
At the same time, Albon goes for an outside overtake attempt. Will it be enough? Stroll seems to have better acceleration for the straight. They are door to door for the next corner. Stroll is in the inside, Albon on the outside.
Outside, Albon's gonna get the move done. Stroll's gonna have DRS, question mark, no. And Albon looks like he was kind of shoved wide there. Or is that Verstappen? That's Verstappen on Leclerc, he's caught up to him.
We have 8 more laps. And the two the two big names at the front are fighting with each other.
The young guns haven't really showcased their talent here today. Max, definitely started off to a very emotional start. You could definitely see he was driving, and he goes up the inside, and he has to hit the brakes. So the Red Bull, contact.
Did he get damage from that? That's the question, because they cannot get, like, sure, they could go into the pace, but it's not something you would want to do a third time in the race. He goes to the outside, backs off from it.
Both lock up, and I think there's a little bit of
yeah,
Max
there's
right damage.
Yep, there's damage. Goes to the outside. Door to door.
Max is going to be so much more quick through the twisty bits as Leclerc goes on the outside. Max tries to keep up, and Max takes another front wing damage. So that's, I don't think they'll pit. I think they'll try and protect this lead if they can and get a podium if they can. But Hamilton's 5 seconds behind him. Max is on the outside here, or inside rather, the next turn.
And he bows out
Leclerc
of
hits
it.
the apex nice with that Ferrari power. I think Max actually gets a decent exit, but let's see. I just think Leclerc, if he wants to, put on the ERS mode and fuel and just maybe pop up an engine mode or whatnot, and just that Ferrari power in the straight line so good. So he's able to protect against Max pretty easily through the straights, I feel.
Yeah, you can see how big is the gap. The Mercedes just hit the first corner there. Oh, that's...
What in the world? Max Verstappen is going...
Oh!
Max's bottle. Look how much understeer he has now through the twisty bits and S turns here. I mean, that was super aggressive. He's definitely going to be taking a lot of points off of his super license after this race. Gonna have probably a pretty long talk with the stewards after this one. That's like the 6th time we've seen him bump his front wing against somebody.
It almost looked like he forgot to brake before the corner. At the same time, he goes to the inside.
Oh
and
my
gosh! Just barely.
Max just hops right back on the track there, and he's got to just be flustered with himself and whatnot. I mean, this is crazy, and look how great of a drive he's had, though. I mean, if you take away his mistakes, he's gonna be well leading this Grand Prix. He's went through 2 front wings now. Are they gonna pit him? No.
Looked like that he went for it, but he bailed out of it. And the question is, can he hold it? Like, just like 1 or 2 laps ago, you would say that they might try to stick to his place, but I don't think that Max is going. Oh, Leclerc brake. Leclerc.
Max and Leclerc going back and forth. Let's see how Charles does. You got a little bit of a wounded Red Bull, but Max, I mean, we've seen him here today. He's been able to muscle around that Red Bull regardless of how the front wing looks.
And he gets the position
done.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
It looks like he's closer to Verstappen now than in the previous lap.
Oh,
definitely now.
This is going to be interesting on this last sector here in Sector 3 as they go up to this right-hander. Max going to have to go really early on the brakes. Charles hits the apex very nice up on the throttle. He's going to have DRS. He's under half a second, 0.2 separating them. Leclerc hits that apex perfectly up on the throttle. Let's see how the DRS pays off for him.
It's in the DRS.
He already had that straight line speed, and he goes up the inside, no problem.
It just flew by. Max will be pissed.
Yeah, I thought Max was going to have a lookout right there through the inside, and I was like, that is super ambitious.
Alright, let's see what he can do. The wing opens at the back. Goes to the inside. And gets it done. Bit close, but we saw much closer attempts. Way too close attempts.
really it's been the car to beat. I mean, they got the straight line speed, and Max is going to be taking home P1 here in the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Absolute miracle, and also nightmare for everyone else who was racing against him. He started in the back from 20th position and finished in the pole position.